The smartest English learners are making the most progress. Don't focus on getting everything right, speaking perfectly and understanding everything. They focus on speed and progress. But what learning to speak English fluently looks like for most struggling English students is 5-10 years of jumping from one course, one teacher, one YouTube channel, one Instagram account to the other, trying this, that, but never seeing the progress they really want with their fluency because they're all victims of this new pandemic we are all experiencing. In this day and age where the average millennial spends around 205 minutes a day bouncing from Instagram to TikTok over to YouTube, scrolling through a bunch of videos where other people are showing what's going on in their lives or sharing information most of us never take action on, or when it comes to English posts, vocabulary, alternatives, idioms, expressions, none of which we remember when we speak to someone, the best way you're going to stand out, stay competitive in your career, your field as an English communicator, get those promotions, better life, career opportunities that come with speaking English confidently, is when you choose, and I'm using this word intentionally in this video, to rise above this global pandemic of procrastination. And if you find yourself procrastinating, telling yourself things like, I really want to improve my speaking skills because I know so much grammar and vocabulary, I just can't make sentences and I'm not ready. If you keep telling yourself every day but never act on thoughts like, yes, today I'm going to make time for reviewing that vocabulary I've been taking notes on over the last couple of weeks, you're not alone, and please stop judging yourself for that, because that's where progress really starts. I was procrastinating on this video for at least an hour. I was trying to find a way to script it and then record it, but then ended up going to the supermarket, picking up my laundry, and then scrolling for all kinds of ideas because I was so afraid of how it will land with the audience when it's a really important topic to see real progress to their fluency and confidence. When I really think about it, the reason I was able to stop procrastinating on creating this video is also the reason my colleagues, my students call me the king of consistency. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I focused on to get to an advanced level of fluency by keeping on taking action on my fluency, my communication skills, building my confidence despite studying 2 majors, having a part-time job working as a student representative at the age of 20. I talk about this and many other powerful habits that I've developed myself. So learning to speak English fluently was easier for me and I could make 10 times faster progress than most people in this free PDF that you can download now if you click on the first link in the description below. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Chubby. I'm an English fluency, learning and language anxiety coach, and this is a channel for serious English learners, ambitious professionals, business owners, content creators, academics who all want to focus on learning to speak English fluently, confidently and comfortably with the help of improving their vocabulary and listening skills. If these are topics that you're interested in and you'd like to find out more about and you haven't yet, make sure you click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get all the updates, long form, short form videos, posts as well, so you can achieve the fluency and confidence you want when you speak English. You simply procrastinate because you're trying to avoid doing what you think feels uncomfortable, and many times the consequences of not doing that don't scare you. Because I'm sure you need to do many uncomfortable things, like you probably have to hand in reports at work, participating in a lot of boring meetings, replying to emails about questions that you've probably already given an answer to like 100 times before. But you still do it because there are consequences of not doing those uncomfortable things. When I was in that situation, learning English at the age of 17, and I knew a lot of the advanced grammar and I memorized a lot of words, I knew the theory, I just couldn't bring myself to speak in front of my classmates or other people because I was so afraid of making mistakes. I was ashamed of my accent. What helped me massively overcome my procrastination is realizing that there are consequences of not doing what feels uncomfortable. And being scared of those consequences was what actually ended up helping me build my confidence. Now, one of the topics that we discuss with my students in my coaching program that gives my students 100 times more confidence and helps them make 10 times more progress than most people is the topic of choice. You always have a choice. Life is choice. And any responsible English learner I've ever worked with understood that their level of fluency and confidence in speaking English are eventually the result of the choices they've made throughout their lives. So when I was in that situation, when I knew a lot of grammar and a lot of vocabulary, but I was super terrified of making mistakes, I realized this. If I choose not to take the courage and make these mistakes, and I talk about the importance of making mistakes and accepting your imperfect English so you can make the fastest progress in the previous video, how would I understand what I need to improve? How will I get feedback so I can stop repeating my mistakes? If you don't know what to improve, how can you improve? Or when I had difficulties understanding some English accents when I was watching that series called Skins. I don't know if you've ever watched it. My dream back then was to live in London, start my business there, and so it happened, but I knew that I had to prepare so I don't embarrass myself in a conversation just because I don't understand when a native English speaker is speaking to me with their local accent. Which is what inspired me to create my listening workshops that are part of our fluency program, the Proficiency Fortress, preparing my students for real life listening skills. Because, and if you've never been to the UK, I can tell you, the way people speak there has got nothing to do with the way people speak on an audio recording or in a scripted movie. So not making time to watch those movies for 5-10 minutes, or really practicing listening to podcasts and understanding how people are pronouncing certain sounds and words would have caused me to fail to understand conversations when I eventually moved to the UK. So the best way I found to combat my procrastination is always realizing that I'm actually causing myself way more pain by avoiding what feels uncomfortable, because not only am I not making progress when I procrastinate and complain about it, but I also have to face that fear and discomfort later on, when I could just simply decide to do it right now without overthinking, without strategizing, without hesitating, and be done with it. By procrastination, consuming more information, more strategies, more tips, overthinking, hiding, which kind of keeps you in your comfort zone, you're not eliminating the tasks and responsibilities that you need to do, you're just delaying them. Creating a situation where you're not making progress because you're not doing the thing. Plus, you also have to face that fear and discomfort later on anyway. And this is why looking at discomfort and challenges as a way to improve, get stronger, better, grow as a person is one of the healthiest, best beliefs you can start holding. So choosing to stay in your comfort zone when you don't make time to review vocabulary, watch part of a movie without subtitles, you can practice your listening skills, or having conversations with other people so you can improve your communication skills and build your confidence, you're causing yourself even more pain. It's not just that you are not going to make progress, but you will have to face that painful, uncomfortable situation later on. The smartest English learners who learn to speak English within a year or two aren't the ones who get everything right the first time, understand everything and remember all the vocabulary. The smartest English learners are the ones who focus on making progress the most effective, least stressful way possible. School kind of makes us feel like the smartest people are the ones who know everything, who get all the A's and A pluses and then end up getting a summa cum laude at the end of their university. From the point of view of learning, the smartest person is the one who masters their mind, their thoughts, and develops what we focus a lot on in our community, critical thinking. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So if you know how important speaking English fluently and confidently is so you can live a more comfortable life or feel more comfortable at work, get a higher position, build a business with international clients, why not look at the uncomfortable thing that you've been avoiding as the necessary thing that you can choose to do so you create that comfort? Because you can either choose to stay in that comfort, keeping on studying grammar, flipping through your flashcards, or swiping on a language app. Never challenge yourself. But if you still can't express yourself effectively and communicate confidently, is that not uncomfortable? You always have the choice of either feeling shitty because you don't take action on the things that feel uncomfortable, which will actually help you improve your fluency and confidence, or feeling shitty, scared, nervous, frustrated, confused, while taking the action. Which of these two is going to help you focus on what the smartest English learners focus on? Progress. You are not a procrastinator, and labeling yourself like that will actually hold you back even more. Just like with any other habit, whether it's a learning habit or a habit of thinking, that effective English communicators build and maintain in my program, which is something you can hear a lot more about in detail in a previous video I created. You can simply build a habit of taking action. Catching yourself most of the time when you have those thoughts, trying to avoid something just because it feels uncomfortable, and committing to doing it, because commitment comes from inside of you. And if it feels really scary, makes you feel nervous, frustrated, or confused, you don't have to do it for an hour. You don't even have to do it for half an hour. Just commit to doing it for 1, 2, 5 minutes. Because when you commit to doing it for just 5 minutes, you can actually convince your brain that, yeah, that's gonna be fine. I can be scared for 5 minutes and do it, and then teach myself to do it more and more and more. And while you're doing it in those 5 minutes, you might decide to keep going because you're like, well, it's actually not that bad, and I'm improving, and I made time for this, so I might as well keep going. The effective English communicators in our program simply don't struggle with procrastination that much and make much faster progress than most people because they already have habits of using the language running. So they don't always have to find the energy to do it or find the motivation to do it because they've already built actively learning English into their daily routine. And if they live a busy life, they could do it for 20 minutes in the evening or 10 minutes in the morning, partly as a strategy to overcome procrastination and stop studying in a shallow way that doesn't bring them results with their fluency. Realize how much power you have over your procrastination and your fluency, your life in general, your opportunities, when you simply focus on making better choices. And ask yourself the same question I ask myself every time I find myself procrastinating in my business or whenever I'm learning Japanese or Korean. Where will your fluency, your life be 6 months, 12 months from now if you choose not to take action on what feels uncomfortable about learning English so you can learn and improve? And where will your English, your life be 6, 12 months from now if you do choose to take action on what feels uncomfortable so you can grow and improve? Think about this, the power of your choice and the consequences that those choices will lead to every time you find yourself overthinking, strategizing, hiding, procrastinating, trying to look for more tips, strategies just because we don't exactly know what exactly to do, instead of making time and taking action on improving the actual things that help us make progress, communicating on a regular basis and challenging ourselves so we can keep improving, making time for vocabulary review so we actually get better at remembering vocabulary in the middle of a conversation, and focusing on understanding real fast English. And if there's anything you particularly struggle with procrastinating on, let me know in the comments below. Remembering vocabulary more effectively, improving their listening skills, and learn to speak English fluently, comfortably, confidently. And just like any other learning to speak English fluently, confidently, comfortably, any responsible, maybe some